They were taught that having conversations through text is convenient. Don't get me wrong. You can get a lot of your thoughts out. But the feeling that you get from having a one-on-one conversation, especially a healthy conversation, whether it's stuff you want to hear or don't want to hear, is so beneficial to your mental because it allows you to heal a lot of assumptions, a lot of things you took personal or you thinking about taking personal. You can clear all that up by having just a conversation and listening to one's perspective. But
am I doing the best that I can daily? Am I really putting forth the best effort to being the best version of me for that day? A lot of times we're not. We get caught up in being complacent, myself included. You get in a routine and you get comfortable. And there's no growth in the comfort zone.
Roll me, Mac.
What strength have you gained through overcoming adversity? Well, one strength is that I am determined. Determined, stubborn, ambitious, motivated, goal-driven, whatever you want to call it. I've developed that skill that no matter what's over on the other side of that hill, I'm going to face it and I'm going to be able to get over it. That's what I've been grateful enough to experience. No matter how dark it may have looked for me, perceived to me, that is, I was able to get over the hurdle that I created in my mind. Because in actuality, most things are just things, they're just that. And we make them bigger than what they are. It's kind of like the end of It Chapter 2, where they've allowed it to just be enormous because he's gaining off their fear. And that's what happens with our fears and our obstacles. They gain power over our mind because we give it to them. But as we face said fears, as we face said obstacles, they get smaller, real small, as we learn to face them. And it just took some time to develop that because of the programming and just being afraid to fail. Having that fear of failure and then developing a fear of success at one point in time. And that's where self-sabotage comes in. and you just make sure you put yourself in a position where you felt comfortable. Your nervous system wants to go back to something that's calm, even if it was chaos that you were bred in. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were used to shit going south, wrong, whatever synonym you want to use for that situation, you're going to go back to it because it's familiar to you, not necessarily what's best for you. And I was able to overcome a lot. I mean, I got more to go because where however long is left for me to experience this life. But the stuff that I've been able to overcome definitely gave me a sense of courage, a sense of confidence that I can overcome this, regardless of what anyone may believe that I can do, and just putting my mind to it. Being that stubborn, being that one that said, look, to be told that you can't do something, and then to fuck around and find out, and that you did it. And when you can do that, time and time again, sometimes you fall, but you get back up until you figure it out. You become very powerful in your own mind. So I would say that strength that I got from overcoming adversity was confidence. And confidence to the point that no one has to believe in me. I'm okay with just believing in myself and working on becoming a better version of me day by day. Whether a person agrees with my belief system, my beliefs, whatever it is, I have that mentality that I can go out and attack whatever the fuck I want to go out and face. And I love that. I love that about myself. I love that I've been able to develop said skill, said mindset, and then also influence those around me to do the fucking same. Honestly, that's what I take joy every day in planting a seed somewhere that fuck what anyone else thinks about you. Believe in yourself that you can do it. We've overcome 100% of our bad days, to this point. That's confidence enough. Those times where we thought it was over, we're still here to tell a story. Some others are not. But here we are. We're here to tell the story with this strength of overcoming adversity. And there was a time where you thought that this was it. This was it for me. I remember a time where I thought that I was just going to be this pushover. I was going to be somebody that you can just walk over. And that's going to be the rest of my life. And I just had to do that for love until I decided to depart, go off on my own, and find out how to love me. Discover who I thought I was. And then realizing that I'm nothing. And what I mean by that is the lies that the ego can tell you who you believe you are. And you don't have to be anything. You're just a human being. That's enough. You'll have feelings. Let them pass like clouds over your head. And you keep trucking forward. You're going to make mistakes. Have the courage to fail so that you can succeed. Anything worth doing is worth doing badly until you get it right. And it's just staying with that course and then not judging others because they're still trying to figure shit out too. None of us have this all figured out. Some of us may think we do at times, but we don't have this shit figured out. It's life. Life will throw you curveballs that you couldn't even suspect. Some of us have lived and experienced that and wonder, how do I move forward from here? I thought they were always going to be there for me. I thought we would be together forever. I thought she would never leave me. I thought he would never leave me. I thought that was my friend. I thought that was my husband. I thought that was my wife. So many different things have been thrown at us, and we questioned ourselves like, how are we going to navigate through this shit now? But you did. That's the inspiration. That's the motivation. We at one point in time attached ourselves to this idea of what life was going to be. And then life showed us what the fuck it was. And so over time you develop this strength. It may not come immediately For some, it may come immediately, but for some of us, it takes time until you start believing in yourself and you just say, fuck it, I'm going over that hill regardless of what's happening on the other side. And then once you go over enough hills, you just say, fuck it, I'm gonna just ride. I'll be the one to ride the front seat of the roller coaster. I'll be the first one to see whatever and feel whatever is going to happen. Worst case, I'll know what it feels like. And that's when you develop this strength of overcoming any fear that may come your way. Truth be told, the statement that was said, the only thing to fear is fear itself. Fear only exists in our mind. It's just based on a series of events that we've been through that kind of started us, and we didn't respond to it in the best way. And each time we find that trauma, we respond the same fucking way that we did when we were kids, when we were teenagers, whenever the time happened, we respond that way. But the key that I've learned is trying to reprogram the mind when you get faced in a similar situation, when you get triggered. Program your mind. You got the choice now. When we were kids, we didn't really have choices as far as like how to respond to stuff. Maybe because of our parents might have been pissed off. Maybe because we didn't want to piss off our parents. Or it was, being manipulated, for that matter, by whoever that was. But now you're an adult. You can make a decision. You can change the course of action. You can do hot tub time machine in real life. And you can make better choices the next time you get triggered. It's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But you were chosen. You were chosen to go through what you went through to get you to where you are today, to become who you are today, who you're going to continue to be tomorrow and the next day and however long you're going to be here. But I'll say that I am very grateful for the strength. Yes. Damn grateful for the strength that was acquired from going through said adversity. Whatever I thought that I wasn't going to be able to accomplish, wasn't going to be able to overcome. It gave me a sense of confidence that I've never seen before in myself. Very grateful for it. Relentless, goal-driven, determined, ambitious, stubborn. Definitely stubborn. But all synonyms to me. Just grateful for that strength to overcome adversity. What questions do you wish people ask more often? The questions I wish people would ask more often is, does this affect me? Is what's being said about me, or is this about the person that's saying it? Am I to take this personal? Am I to take this personal, what this person is telling me right now? Or is this person projecting onto me? And if they are projecting onto me, then they're looking for love. There's one way to look at it, right? Still have to have your healthy boundaries, but when a person is projecting onto you, they are looking for love, sometimes in the form of validation. And it's not your job to be their happiness, whoever that is. I don't care who it is. You're not responsible for anybody's happiness that's walking this earth. It's just something that we feel programmed to do because that's what we did with our parents. We would turn to them for love, validation. And some of us, when we fall and we feel like strongly for somebody, we act like a child with their parent. And we look to them for validation. We want we want to know that they like what we like type shit. You know what I'm saying? And you're individuals. You don't have to like the same thing. So another question is, am I doing the best that I can daily? Am I really putting forth the best effort to being the best version of me for that day? A lot of times we're not. We get caught up in being complacent, myself included. You get in a routine and you get comfortable, and there's no growth in the comfort zone. So what I end up doing is doing familiar things versus what's best for me. And after a while, I'll feel the difference. I can definitely feel when I'm out of alignment with the universe. And God has a way of redirecting. He has a way of redirecting me. And putting people, placing them perfectly, I will say that, perfectly, in places to remind me, as well as others who have that alignment with the universe, reminders to stay on the course. Like, yo, you kind of veering off. Let's get back right. You know, whether it be a message from somebody that I know, whether it be a message from a stranger, and it's just reminding you to get back on course. So everything happens. I truly believe that everything happens as it's set out to be. It may not even be what you want at times, but there's a lesson in it. And I recommend trusting it, trusting the universe as you navigate through this journey of life, and seeing that the things in front of you are there purposefully. Yeah, purposefully, they are there for you to learn. And sometimes we'll see the same lesson until we pass it. And questions to ask is, am I loving myself unconditionally? Or am I trying to portray a mask and attach myself to the mask? So we all wear masks in some way, shape, or form, right? Like that Chick-fil-A voice we use when we at Chick-fil-A, when we talk to the people, or when we at work and you got that Chick-fil-A customer service voice. It's not necessarily how you carry yourself outside of work. Doesn't mean you're a dick or, you know what I'm saying, a bitch or anything like that to people. But there's this sense of customer service that comes about, and you touch on a little bit of a little more kindness than you might do out of work, depending on what you do for a living. Now, some people just say, fuck it, I'm gonna talk any kind of way. And by all means, you do what you do. But for those who understand customer service, you turn on the Chick-fil-A. You know, I say Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A got to have the best damn customer service I've ever heard in my life. You know, it's almost unbelievable how kind most of them are at Chick-fil-A. That's why I love however they run the company. I think they would make more money if they opened up on Sundays, but respect the religious beliefs. But people like chicken on Sundays for Sunday dinners, Sunday lunch, Sunday breakfast. But I digress. You know, respect the boundaries. But in all seriousness, yeah, am I loving myself unconditionally? Am I loving myself unconditionally? Is a question that must be asked because of like how we treat ourselves and how we talk to ourselves. And a lot of the stuff we say in our head, we would never say to a person next to us. We would never say it to somebody that we value. But we've been programmed to talk to ourselves like we ain't worth 2 dead flies smashed. And you are worth more than 2 dead damn flies smashed in this life. You are worthy, you are lovable, you're valuable for that matter. But if you don't believe it, it don't matter at all. Honestly, the rest of the world can think you're the shit, but if you don't, it's not gonna feel like it. And waiting for whoever to validate you, whoever you think that person is, that designator. For some of us that grew up in codependency, everybody else could be saying, you fine as shit, damn, you got it going on, you're doing great with your life and all this stuff. But for whatever reason, if it don't come from your parents, it doesn't come from this particular girl, this particular boy, hell, it might even be from your kid or kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't get that perceived validation from them, you feel like you ain't shit. And I felt that way a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like there would be, oh, get these compliments over here, but over here it was, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of quiet. It was kind of quiet. But like I said, that codependency and relying upon somebody to validate how dope you are, and you don't require it. You were born dope. The fact that you were born was dope. So many people trying to have kids and not able to, but here you the fuck are causing havoc or impacting lives in a positive way, depending on how your situation goes in life, what you choose to do each day. We're human, we're different, we have different emotions, and if we don't learn how to manage our emotions, sometimes we can project our pain, so sometimes causing havoc. But I believe once you learn how to manage your emotions, you can offer love, you can receive love for that matter, but you can project love onto people, and they can just feel this breath of fresh air when they're around your energy. When you leave, they don't feel the need to be defensive. They can actually be themselves. Once you become conscious of your emotions, conscious of your own pain, and not to project that, you feel love. You walk in love. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing to learn how to do that, because it gives a sense of safety in an unsafe world to the people around you when you learn how to do such. At least my own experience, and being around people that have done so, and learning from, you know what I'm saying, and learning from them. I've been fortunate enough to have some of the best mentors that I've seen online. I've never met them yet, but I look forward to, and hopefully, before they pass. But Don Miguel Ruiz, Jay Shetty, Jordan Peterson, Brene Brown, the same people I've been spitting for the last few years on the show. These people taught me another way of love, and to love oneself, and very grateful. And so I go back to the question, am I loving myself unconditional? Or am I loving myself with conditions, feeling like I have to be something? I have to wear a mask, as we were saying earlier about the Chick-fil-A thing. You're wearing a mask and stuff like that, and you get attached to this idea of you wearing this mask and think that it is you, but it's not you. You create you. I believe you create you every day, right? Like, there's nothing to put you in a box. If you decide you like something new, you can actually do that thing. You don't have to not do that thing because you won't be accepted by this particular people. Fuck all that. Fuck fitting in. Dead ass, yo. Like, I love weird kids. I love weird people. Fuck fitting in. Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, find out what you can be. What skills, what things you can add to you, regardless of where you come from, regardless of what race you are, regardless of what gender you are. Figure out the things that you like, things that you love, things you don't like, and just have the courage to do them. And another question, am I operating in love or am I operating in fear? These are questions I wish people would ask themselves a lot more. Are the things that I'm doing coming from a place of fear, or is it coming from a place of love? Most of the time, we're operating in fear, and you're not able to do both. I don't believe you're able to do both. I'm with Don Miguel Ruiz on this. Talks about this in The Mastery of Love. You're either operating in love or you're operating in fear. And we got to decide which one it's going to be. Fear or love, But that's some of the questions that I wish we would ask ourselves on a day-to-day basis. What would you say was your favorite Christmas gift growing up from your parents? My favorite Christmas gift from my parents growing up more than likely would be, it was Christmas in '91. We were about to leave. Yeah, we were about to leave Cuba. My father and my mother were stationed at Gitmo, right? Navy brat shit. But this Christmas in particular, I was gifted the turtle blimp. My grandma, she got me an Ultimate Warrior wrestling buddy. I got a gang of Nintendo games, and there was some clothes. I remember my mom's got it on video of me kind of shitting on the clothes or whatever. Not literally shitting, but just like, I got clothes. You know, like kids, because you're looking for toys. But I mean, to have that turtle, to get the turtle blimp. I was a big Ninja Turtles fan. To get that list of Ninja Turtle Nintendo games, and then to have the Ultimate Warrior wrestling buddy. I mean, that was the two biggest things in my life at the time. It was wrestling. Wrestling was everything. You know, Hulk Hogan, God rest his soul, and there Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Big Boss Man, the Bushwhackers, you name it. That was life for me and my family for the most part. I mean, me and my cousin. I mean, that was just life for us. And then video games. So to get a gang of video games, Ninja Turtles, wrestling, like to me, I think that was probably some of my favorite gifts that I received from my parents on Christmas. How does unreciprocated love affect people? Well, depending on how educated they are about their emotions, it can confuse the shit out of you. That, like, why the fuck, how come I can do this for people, but they don't know how to do it, or they don't do it for me? Well, and with that, what are you entitled to? You know, did anybody tell you to do the things that you did, or did you decide that you were going to do them in hopes that you would get something in return? That is side effects of living in illusion. I spent a great deal of years living in illusion, believing that if I just love harder, I just be there for everybody and stretch myself as thin as I possibly can, they'll do the same for me. Don't kid yourself. What you did was about you. And when people do kind things for you, that wasn't about you, that was about them and what they do. That's why it's best to love unconditionally, right? Don't do anything you do not want to do. Do not allow anyone to pressure you into doing some shit that you do not wish to do. And I mean, I get it. We got kids. You want to show up for them. As they get older, you still want to show up for them, but you also want to educate them that you want to teach them to do things that they want to do. Because sometimes we can grow up in life and believe that people are going to operate just like our parents are, and they're going to do whatever the fuck we want them to do. But there comes a point in time where you have to draw a line and learn that people are people. And some people, depending on how much codependency they dealt with, they might become people pleasers, and they may do some things that you want them to do, even when they don't want to do it. And we'll feel good, but it's not really genuine, you know? And I know I grew up a great deal of my life being a people pleaser. And what I've learned is being nice hurts people more than just being honest with them, telling them the truth. Like pretending to be something. I spent a lot of time pretending to be that I wanted that relationship. That I wanted to be friends with that person, that I wanted to hang out with these people, that I wanted to listen to this music. And it was all about fitting in and not being abandoned. I was dealing with fear of abandonment. Whatever you wanted to do, I was going to do it. You know, if it meant fitting in, I was going to take on whatever you liked. And I wasn't being authentic. I wasn't being honest with myself. I wasn't being honest with them. If I wasn't honest with myself, I'm definitely not gonna be honest with them. How you treat yourself is how you treat everybody else. There's no getting around it. You can run from a lot of things. You won't ever be able to run from yourself. Wherever you go, there you are. And at some point in time, you're gonna have to face the music. You're gonna have to face yourself. So trying to cause me to become a version of me that was not so much, like I said, it wasn't authentic. It was a joke, and it was tough because you got to keep it up. You got to keep up with it. But that's what people pleasing will do, because you don't want to let anybody down, but you have no problem letting yourself down, not having boundaries, not being there for you. Risking being there for yourself, but you'll be there for somebody else with no hesitation. No hesitation. Whatever you got going on, I gotta go. Superman to the rescue. And after a while, nobody saved Superman. Only people that save Superman are other superheroes like yourself. Sometimes the villains too, depending on who we are. I like to think of myself as an anti-hero and part villain too, but I digress. However, those people that love to show up for others, they in a jam, they want to be there. Bam, they're right there, and then people in their life come up short for them, and then they just deal with this resentment. So, how does unreciprocated love affect people? Like I said, I believe it really depends on how educated, how aware you are of your own emotions and recognizing that nothing anyone does is about you. And if you don't have healthy boundaries, takers do not have limits. They will take as much as they can as long as you're willing to give it. They will not think twice about whether or not they're taking advantage of you. They will take, and take. So, best learn how to have healthy boundaries, because no one owes you anything. Whatever you do is what you did, and what you don't change, you tolerate, okay? You allow it. So it's like having healthy boundaries. Learn to have healthy boundaries within your life so that people can learn how to treat you. And once you set healthy boundaries, and people that leave after that, they were never meant to stay in your life for longer than being a leaf. You know what I mean? They weren't the roots. They were there for something that you removed. And once you removed it, they had no use for you. And that happens. I mean, I think we all have that in our life. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy, we're on the road trip and we stop somewhere, we need to get the car fixed. You don't owe that guy anything, you know what I'm saying? Because you talked to him for like an hour or so while he was fixing, like your car. That use is gone. It's done. And you move on to the next, whatever thing it is, but learning to have a mindset of nothing, no one owes me anything. I'm not entitled to anything. Not having expectations, but having healthy boundaries and recognizing when you are giving a little too much. Knowing how to reel yourself back in. You can feel it. Energy won't ever lie to us. You can feel the energy shift when you feel like you're putting forth too much, and it's kind of either pushing them away or they start to take and take and take. Now it's become an expectation of you to just give what you're giving. But remember to give to yourself, right? Focus on you. Remember to put yourself first so that you can teach everybody else how to treat you. Give yourself the love you've been giving to everybody for the longest. It's the same thing. It's just redirecting the energy. And it takes a while for some of us to learn that shit, man. Like, we're so programmed of giving to everybody else and leaving ourselves last, thinking we're doing the right thing. Nah. Fill your cup up and you can get what's left over. Honestly, like, focus on filling your cup up. And then you can give to others. Put your mask on first as the plane is going down. Put your mask on first, and then help the person next to you. There's many other analogies that we can use to kind of talk about this, but I think you get the fucking point now. But unreciprocated love affects people, like I said, how depending on how attached they are to their to validation. It can be deadly. It can get real when a person feels like they're being taken advantage of. Sweetest woman in the world can be the meanest woman in the world if you make them that way. And that whole scenario and that Martin had in You So Crazy Stand Up. My baby's so fine. My baby's so good. You didn't see how he was crazy, deranged. For those who don't know that stand up, you just look up Crazy Deranged Martin, You So Crazy, and it'll explain. I don't want to tell the entire bit to make this point, but what I'm saying is that when a person gets, a person that's known for giving, they're not responsible. You're not responsible for the things that they do. However, you can monitor and set healthy boundaries and ensure that you do not, kind of take that advantage of someone and just, constantly giving and giving and giving and giving, so, shit like that. But, unreciprocated love. It affects people in many ways. I know I've been on both ends, where I was just allowing this person just to give whatever they wanted, and I was just sitting in my ego the entire time, and then I got used to it. And then I've been on the other side where I keep trying to get validated by this person, so I just keep showing up and trying to give things and trying to buy love, whatever you want to call it. So, it affects people in many different ways, but I think we touched on a few things that can kind of explain it. But anyway, this is the end. I'm Romy Mac, and I'm out. Good night, kids.